8-4 is specific to right triangles. It only applies to right triangles. But it's kind of cool that there's special things that apply to right triangles. Um, the more you know about right triangles, they're fascinating. Anyhow, back to the lesson. Number 1, explain easily 2 steps to find the geometric mean of 2 numbers. You're used to the word mean where you add them up and divide by how many there are. That's an arithmetic mean. For a geometric mean of 2 numbers, there's 2 steps. You find the product, and then you square root it. If I asked you to find the geometric mean of 5 and 7, 5 times 7 is 35. The square root of 35 is the geometric mean. So just under 6. Okay, number 2. I say to write it in your own words. I'm going to help you out a little bit. We have a picture with a right triangle. There's some things you should notice about this right triangle. There are 3 triangles in it. There's this little one, to the left. There's the big one, which I'm going to go ahead and draw sideways. This is the big one. So as a reminder, the only thing we have on the big one is that the hypotenuse would be A plus B. And then we have the little one on the right. I'm going to stand that one up. I know it looks bigger than the big one. Sorry. And we know B and H. Okay, so those are the 3 triangles. So, corollary 1, by the way, this is on page 440 if you want to read it. Basically, these 3 triangles are similar. So if all I know in the problem are A, B, and H, and I don't know one of those 3 things, I'll be okay. Because it turns out, let's see, I'm going to show you, A would go with H, and then H would go with B. A over H equals H. That's not a very good H, sorry. H over B. So just know that when you see a picture like that. In other words, AB equals H squared, or the square root of AB equals H. The square root of a product is known as the geometric mean, which is why they're going through geometric means in this lesson. You can use any one of these equations. Those are all the same equation. If you have a problem that looks like that. 3, corollary 2. Write it in your own words. I'm going to redraw the pictures again. So I've got the little triangle. In this case, I have X and A. I've got the big outside triangle, which in this case I know all 3 things. I know that the little side is X. I know the big side is Y. I know the hypotenuse is A plus B. And then I have the little triangle on the right. I should call it the medium triangle. By the way, terrible pictures. Hopefully you see what I'm doing. I don't know this, B, and this is Y. Okay, so corollary 2. It tells me, notice that X goes with A plus B, and that, I meant to switch colors there, sorry, that A goes with X. So A over X equals X over A plus B. And you can go back to the original picture and just know that that's always going to be the case. I could also, if I'm looking at Y instead, notice that Y goes with a plus b, and this y goes with b. I'm going to put the little triangle on top to kind of make it similar to what I wrote before. So b goes to y, and y goes to a plus b. Those become very useful, once again, when the picture looks more similar to this, that's where the numbers are marked. So let's do some examples. Example. I have a triangle. It is a right triangle. It's a terrible right triangle. You'll have to trust me that it's a right triangle. Obviously not to scale. I'll say, I don't know, that looked like 7. So I'll say that this is 8. Makes that 4. Oh, I shouldn't have given 7. So hold on. Let's say I don't know what that is. We'll call this H. We'll call this X. And we'll call this Y. So I'm going to use all 3 of my equations. To find H, you need the 2 lengths on the bottom, specifically 4 and 8. So let's see if I can be consistent. A, which is left over H, is H over right. So left over H equals H over right. So 32 equals H squared. The square root of 32, which is 4 root 2. If I had a calculator, I'd give you the decimal, but I don't. So I'll just leave it. H is 4 root 2. To find X, that's one of the sides, I need to use this guy. When I say this guy, I'm talking right here. I have left, right, the left number, which is 4 in this case, left over X. So 4 over X equals X over A plus B. That's the total length of the bottom, which is in this case 12. So 48 equals X squared. I need the square root of 48, which is 4 root 3. Once again, I don't have a calculator, so sorry, I'm leaving it in weird ways. But your calculator will give you that anyway, unless you turn it into a decimal. All right, so that's how you find X. Y is the same thing, except I need to use the Y side of the triangle, which is 8. So 8 over Y equals Y over 12. The 12 is the full length of the bottom. So 8 times 12 is 96. I need the square root of 96, which is 4 root 6 for Y. As a reminder, see if I can do this. So H goes with is the geometric mean of 4 and 8. X is the geometric mean of 4 and 12. And Y is the geometric mean of Y, which is 8 and 12. So the geometric mean means I'm going to multiply the 2 numbers together and then find the square root. So H, 4 times 8, take the square root. X will be 4 times 12, take the square root. And Y was 8 times 12, take the square root. So you might say, if they're always geometric means, why would you ever bother writing out the proportion? Because you can go straight there. Well, sometimes they kind of give you different information. Like maybe they tell you that, maybe they don't tell you B, and maybe this is 4 and this is 5. I need to know that 4 over 5 is 5 over B. So 4B equals 25, B equals 6.25. And notice I never did a geometric mean. If I'd done it the geometric mean way, so 5 equals the square root of 4B, it's a little bit more complicated to solve. I can do it, right? I have to square both sides, which gives me the 25 equals 4B. I get the same answer, B equals 6.25, but I never have to deal with squaring if I remember the actual proportions that go with the problem. The hardest part really is figuring out which of the two to use. I should really say 3. There's 3 to choose from. There's this ratio, the one I have circled in yellow, and you just have to know based on the picture which one they're talking about. If they give you something, no, never mind. I was going to say find H first. It doesn't really matter. It wouldn't have made it matter for this problem. So I think you'll be able to do that. It's just using those problems and doing those problems, figuring out which one to use.